In a distant land called Isundo, there lived a young man named Kofi. He was full of life but had a reputation for being reckless. One day, while hunting in the forest, Kofi came across a massive tree covered with symbols. This tree was sacred to the village, it connected them to their ancestors. Thanks for being part of this interesting story. Before I continue, I would like to make a special request to all of my amazing viewers. Please consider joining me on this journey by clicking on the subscribe button, if you have not done so. Despite warnings from the villagers, Kofi decided to cut down the tree, thinking it would make him famous. As soon as the tree fell, dark clouds filled the sky, the village stream dried up, and Kofi's hand turned into wooden claws. The villagers were horrified, especially Kofi's father, the village chief. The villagers, including Kofi's father, gathered around him in shock and dismay. The eldest woman in the village, called Amma, revealed that the ancestors had placed a curse on Kofi for his disrespect and disregard for tradition. The curse could only be lifted by finding the sacred water of life hidden deep within the forest. Kofi's father, filled with grief and concern for his son, pleaded with Amma to help find a way to lift the curse. Amma agreed to guide Kofi on his journey, but warned him that the path ahead would be treacherous and required great courage and determination. With a heavy heart and a newfound sense of responsibility, Kofi set out on his journey to find the water of life, leaving behind his village and the life he once knew. The journey begins. With a determined spirit, Kofi bid farewell to his village and embarked on his perilous journey to find the water of life. Amma, the village elder, presented him with a worn leather pouch containing a small amount of food, a water skin, and a map etched on a piece of antelope hide. The map depicted the treacherous path ahead, marked with symbols warning of perils and pointing to the hidden landmarks. As Kofi ventured into the forest, the dense foliage seemed to close in around him. The canopy overhead filtered the sunlight, casting dapple shadows on the earth. He trudged through the underbush, his wooden claws clicking against the dry leaves and twigs. The air was thick with the scent of blooming flowers and decaying wood. After hours of walking, Kofi came across a clearing and spotted a wise old tortoise, Kwaku, basking in the sun. Kwaku, sensing Kofi's presence, opened his eyes and gazed at the young man with a deep understanding. Amma had told Kofi to seek out Kwaku, who possessed ancient knowledge and would guide him on his quest. Kofi approached Kwaku with reverence and explained his situation. Kwaku listened intently, nodding his head. "I will accompany you on this journey, Kofi," he said in a low, rumbling voice. "Together, we shall face the challenges and find the water of life." With Kwaku by his side, Kofi felt a sense of relief and gratitude. The unlikely duo set off, their pace slow but steady, as they navigated the treacherous terrain. As they walked, Kwaku shared tales of the forest and its secrets, teaching Kofi about the delicate balance between nature and humanity. As the sun began to set, Kofi and Kwaku arrived at a rushing stream. Kwaku led Kofi to a hidden waterfall where they made camp for the night. The sound of the waterfall soothed Kofi's weary soul, and he felt a glimmer of hope that he might indeed find redemption. As night fell, Kofi and Kwaku sat by a rolling fire, watching the stars twinkling to life above. Kwaku pulled out a small pouch from his shell and offered Kofi a handful of dried fruits and nuts. Kofi gratefully accepted, savoring the sweet and salty flavors. As they ate, Kwaku shared stories of the forest's greatest history, of great battles fought and won, and of the delicate balance between human and nature. Kofi listened intently, his mind expanding with new ideas and perspectives. As the night wore on, Kofi opened up about his past mistakes and his desire to make amends. Kwaku listened attentively, offering words of wisdom and encouragement. Redemption is a journey, Kofi, not a destination, he said. It takes courage, determination, and willingness to learn from your mistakes. As the fire died down, Kwaku led to a nearby clearing. In the center of the clearing stood an enormous tree, its trunk glowing with soft, eternal light. Kwaku gestured to the tree, saying, "This is the tree of wisdom. It holds the secrets of the forest and the knowledge of our ancestors. Listen to its whispers, Kofi, and it will guide you on your path." Kofi approached the tree, feeling a strange energy emanating from it. As he placed his wooden claw on the trunk, the tree began to glow brighter, and a low, whispering voice spoke to him in a language he couldn't understand. But somehow he felt the tree's wisdom deep within his soul. With a newfound sense of purpose, Kofi returned to the campsite, ready to face the challenges ahead. Kwaku smiled, knowing that Kofi had taken the first step towards redemption. As they settled in for the night, Kofi asked Kwaku about the dangers that lay ahead. Kwaku's expression turned serious, and he warned Kofi about the treacherous paths, ferocious beasts, and treacherous rivals they would encounter on their journey. The test of courage. As they ventured deeper into the forest, Kofi and Kwaku encountered a narrow bridge suspended right above a raging river. The bridge creaked and swelled in the wind, making Kofi's heart race with fear. Kwaku sensed his hesitation, encouraging him to take the first step. "The bridge will hold, Kofi," Kwaku said, "but you must hold your courage steady." Kofi took a deep breath and stepped onto the bridge. The wooden slats creaked beneath his feet, and the wind buffeted him from side to side. Halfway across, a fierce gust knocked him off balance. Kofi's wooden claws grasped the railing, and he pulled himself back up, his heart pounding in his chest. Just then, a massive eagle swooped down, its talons outstretched. Kofi raised his arms, ready to defend himself. But the eagle merely snatched a small pouch from Kwaku's shell and flew off. Kwaku chuckled, saying, "The eagle has taken the map. We must follow it to find the next clue." Kofi's fear gave way to determination. He followed the eagle, Kwaku by his side, as they traversed treacherous terrain and solved clever riddles left behind by the ancestors. With each challenge, Kofi's courage grew, and his wooden claws began to feel more like a part of him. As the sun began to set, they arrived at a clearing. In the center stood a magnificent dragon, its scale glittering like gold and bronze. The dragon spoke in a voice that rumbled like a tiger. "Kofi, son of the village chief, you have shown bravery and wit. But to reach the water of life, you must answer my riddles." Kofi steeled himself, ready to face the dragon's challenges. Kwaku whispered words of encouragement, and the dragon presented its first riddle. "What can broken but never held?" Kofi thought deeply, in his mind racing with possibilities. Suddenly, A memory flashed before his eyes, the tree that he had cut down, the one that had cursed him with wooden claws. He looked at his claws, then a smile spread across his face. The answer is a promise, Kofi said confidently. A promise is something that can be broken, but never held in one's hands. The dragon nodded his great head, a hint of smile on its lips. You are correct, Kofi. A promise is indeed something that can be broken but never held. Well done. The dragon presented its second riddle. What can be given, but never sold? Kofi thought for a moment and then his face lit up with understanding. The answer is a name, he said. A name can be given but never sold. The dragon nodded again, its eyes gleaming with approval. You are correct again, Kofi. A name is indeed something that can be given, but never sold. You have passed the test of courage. With a sweep of his claw, the dragon revealed a hidden cave behind it. The water of life lies within. Take it, Kofi, and use it to lift the curse and restore balance to your village. Kofi's heart swelled with joy and gratitude. He entered the cave, Kwaku by his side, and found a glittering pool of water. He cupped his hands and took a refreshing drink, feeling the curse lift and his wooden claws transformed back into human hands. The power of forgiveness. With the curse lifted, Kofi felt a sense of relief and gratitude. He thanked the dragon and Kwaku for their guidance and wisdom. As they made their way back to the village, Kofi realized his journey was far from over. The village elder Ama greeted them with a warm smile. Kofi, my son, you have returned with the water of life. But remember, redemption requires more than just lifting the curse. You must also make amends of your past mistakes. Kofi nodded, knowing that he had to face the consequences of his action. He went to the sacred tree he had cut down and began to restore it using the water of life to heal the damage he had caused. As he worked, the villagers approached him, sharing their stories of how his actions had affected them. Kofi listened, tears streaming down his face, and asked for forgiveness. The villagers, seeing his genuine remorse, forgave him and offered their help in restoring the forest. Together, they planted new trees, cleared the underbush, and restored the balance of nature. Ama appeared, a small smile on her face. Kofi, your actions have shown that you truly learned from your mistakes. The ancestors are pleased, and the village is at peace once more. Kofi felt a sense of pride and accomplishment, knowing that he had made amends and restored balance to his community. He realized that redemption was not just about lifting the curse, but also making things right with those he had harmed. The story of Kofi's journey spread throughout the land, a reminder that forgiveness and redemption are not just about the past. Redemption is always possible, but requires courage, determination, and a willingness to learn from our mistakes. The legacy of redemption. Years passed and Kofi became a respected leader in his village. He continued to attend to the forest, ensuring that the balance of nature was maintained. The villagers prospered, and the ancestors smiled upon them once more. One day, a young man from a neighboring village arrived, seeing Kofi's wisdom. The young man named Akwasi made a mistake similar to Kofi's, and was seeking redemption. Kofi shared his story, and Akwasi listened intently. Inspired by Kofi's journey, Akwasi returned to his village, determined to make amends. Kofi accompanied him, sharing his knowledge and guidance. Together, they restored the damaged land and brought peace back. As Akwasi's village prospered, Kofi realized that his journey had created a ripple effect of redemption. It had inspired others to seek forgiveness and make amends, creating a legacy of redemption that would spread far and wide. The ancestors, pleased with Kofi's selflessness, appeared to him in a vision. Kofi, your story has become a beacon of hope for generations to come. Kofi's journey came full circle. He sought redemption and found it. And inspired others to do so. Lesson. Kofi's journey showed that redemption is always possible if you have the courage to face your mistakes and make things right. His legacy lived on, reminding everyone that forgiveness and healing can bring a brighter future. Here ends the story. What do you think about Kofi and his journey? Do you think the ancestor did well by sparing his life after he had created hardship for the villagers? What is your view on the power of forgiveness and restitution? Have you done or know someone who did something that you think is beyond redemption? Go to comment section and air your view concerning this story. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get our next story. Thanks for watching.